Today I'm going to be showing you guys my top 10 must-have products from the drugstore. I asked on my Instagram what you guys wanted to see on my next video, and this is what everyone voted for. I think like 93% of people wanted to see this instead of like another $1 makeup tutorial trying new products. So if you want to see what I think you should get from the drugstore, then just keep watching. I need to learn how to like not slouch. Okay, let's get started. So I'm gonna go in order of these products in like the order that I would put them on my face. So I'm gonna start with primer. This primer I've used for a very long time. You guys saw me use it in my summer makeup tutorial. It's the Sheer Envy Long Wear Primer from Hard Candy. It just looks like this. The consistency of it, it's gonna work for your skin if you have dry or oily. No matter what you have. I have kind of a combination skin. I'm mainly dry all around my face except my T-zone gets a little oily here, especially now that it's summer. But here, let me see if I could do it better. But whenever you rub it in, it just, you know, rubs in to be translucent or clear or whatever. It just blends in with your skin tone. And it doesn't claim to be pore minimizing, but I swear this helps with my pores. But this thing, if you wait, the key to this primer is waiting, I would say about 5 minutes. I usually do my brows. I put my primer on, I do my brows, and then I go in with my foundation. And that's enough time for it to sit in. Because once you let it sit into the skin, then it really just gets like really tacky, and it gives your foundation something to stick to. So definitely must have primer for no matter what kind of skin type, skin color, skin, whatever you got, you need that. Next, it's kind of like a primer, but I could put this at the end, but we're just gonna do it now because I do it. Okay, anyways, you guys, I always say you guys know, like you don't know. Like, what if you've never even seen me before? Like, bitch, I don't know you. Like, who are you? What is your name? Anyways, I'm Keely, by the way. But this is just the Photos Focus 3-in-1 primer water. It's from Wet n Wild. I don't have. So this is the rose one. This one's empty, or it might have a little spray left, but this is the rose one. I had the cucumber somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. But the rose, I don't know. I just tried the coconut for the first time in the Wet n Wild full face of using only Wet n Wild video that I just uploaded, and it smells good, but it's not. It's a little too strong. So if you're somebody that's sensitive to smells or something like that, then the coconut and the cucumber is just like way too much. I don't like the cucumber at all. But I have to say that the rose is my favorite as of now. But I have to keep using this. I've only used it, like I used it today and I used it in that other makeup tutorial. So we'll see. I don't know. But it does smell good. Like it definitely smells good. But yeah, it's just I use it at the beginning of makeup. That's why I'm putting it second. But I also I actually use it 3 times throughout my foundation routine. I spray it before I put on makeup. I spray it after I put on only foundation, concealer, and powder. And then I also put on spray it on after I'm done with my whole entire face, like with bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that. Just because it really prevents my makeup from looking cakey, especially since I have dry skin. Sometimes it can be really hard to get things blended into the skin and not have them sit directly on top. So spraying this multiple times throughout your makeup routine, it's going to help the makeup kind of even seep in. And another trick that you can do is just take like a beauty blender at the end of your makeup, spray this, and then just tap it in, and it really gives a flawless like finish to the skin, and it also makes you look a little bit more dewy. I like the dewy look, so take that for what you want it. But yeah, Wet n Wild coconut spray. So this next product is literally the only thing that I use for my brows, and that I have used, I want to say probably like the last 6 to 8 months. And it's the CoverGirl Ultra, they change the name of it. It's the Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, and Soft Brown is the one that I use. And I don't know. For me, I don't really like brows. Like everybody has that part of their makeup routine where they don't really care about that part. Brows is the part that I don't care about. Like, I don't know. I'd rather my face look better. But this, I literally try. I think it's the color, because the color, it matches identical to my natural brow hair. So I don't have to try. And I really started getting into this whenever a girl asked me when I was at work. She was like, do you have your brows microbladed? I was like, thank you. But no, bitch, it's CoverGirl Ultra Brow Micro Brow Pencil. Sure, whatever. But it's only like $6. It's a really, really fine, let me use my forehead again. Really, really small tip, because there are ones, hold on, let me show you. Okay, so there are ones that are like, kind of like a definer. And so you can tell the difference. And I was using this because using a big eyebrow pencil like this, I was getting them done really fast, but I would have to find myself cleaning them up all the time, because you can't get really, like at the beginning of my brow and stuff like that, it was just not the easiest to work with in my opinion. This one's from Wet n Wild. I do keep it just because it's like, if I don't have anything, then whatever. Not only that, but the spoolie's not the greatest. I don't know. And then the CoverGirl, it has a nice spoolie. It's kind of everything that I want. It matches my brow perfectly. It's easy to apply. If I mess up, it's easy to fix, and it has a nice spoolie. So definitely should try this, especially if you don't have, if you want those like natural hair strokes. You can use that with a really small tip like this, where as with this, you wouldn't be able to make the brows look really natural. Natural, take that for what you want it. But next is the Essence Make Me Brow eyebrow gel. This is like $2 or $3, and it's literally the same thing that I've tried from everyone. I used to buy the NYX Control Freak. That was a clear. What I like about this one though, because they have it in, mine's the one that is in Brownie Brows is a shade. It's shade number 2. But I don't know. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Hold on. See, you can kind of see like the fibers sticking up out of the, the brush. So whenever there's actual fibers in here, like I should have used it. Okay, well that just fucked up my brow. What I'm trying to say is that there's fibers in here, and so these fibers will stick to your real hair and just look more full, and will give you the appearance of those brow strokes that I was just talking about, where you don't actually have to go in with the pencil. But you could always do what I do, and that's just taking the brow gel after shading in with the pencil, and it sets them in place. I don't have any problems with them wiping off, and it gives a little more color to the brows. So if you have a really sparse area that a pencil just can't fill in, because sometimes you'll need something a little bit deeper or a little bit more pigmented, then you can always take a brow gel and it'll kind of fill in that area for you. So and like I said, for the price, it's basically the same thing as the Benefit Gimme Brow. It's just great for the price. You can't beat it. You gotta have it. Go get it. So next 2 products are face products. These are my favorite to apply, but anyways. So they're both from L'Oreal. So this is product number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So they're both from the Infallible line, but this is the Infallible Full Wear concealer, and then this is the Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation. So they're 2 totally different things though. So let me start with the foundation. The foundation is, let me get in frame. The foundation is like medium to fullish coverage. It's also really liquidy. You can see it like going down my hand there. But it's just the most beautiful foundation on, I think, any skin type. Like I've seen, especially because I do have combination. I'm like I said earlier, I'm dry all around. I'm kind of oily in the middle. But it's easy to blend. It has nice pigmentation. It's not like you're gonna just have to build and build this product to get some coverage, like if you do need coverage. But it's so easy to work with. I think it's, you know, it's a really good foundation that I think has topped all of the drugstore foundations that I have tried. And I started using this, I want to say, when it first came out, like 6 months ago, 5 months ago, somewhere along those lines. But I have mine in the shade 425. Mine's in linen. This is too light for me right now, so I can't really use it because it just looks gray since your girl got tan in Vegas. But yeah, I think this is a great foundation. This is an everyday foundation. This is a going out foundation. This is a picture foundation. This is, I mean, literally you could wear this foundation all year round and it's gonna work for every occasion. It's gonna work, I'm pretty sure, for almost every skin type. And if you'll have to try it for yourself, but you can pretty much make any foundation work as long as what you're doing underneath works with that product. So, you know, if you want a really glowy base, then I would put, you know, a dewy foundation under this, a dewy primer under this foundation. So yeah, I think that if you haven't tried this, you should go to the store and get it, because ever since I bought this, I actually got mine on Amazon, so which was cheaper than it was at Walmart and Ulta. So, but I know that they don't have like a lot of shades on Amazon. At least when I first got it, they didn't. But I would check Amazon out because you get it, you know, faster than buying it from Ulta or wherever you're gonna buy it from else online. But yeah, and it has SPF 25. So it's, I don't know, it's just a great, like I said, every day. I can wear this every day. I wear this whenever I go out at night. I wore this while we were in Vegas because it has SPF in it, and I just want a little more coverage because I can sheer it out and it doesn't have to be so full coverage. But I'm just repeating myself because it's just such a good foundation. However, on the other hand, the concealer that I was talking about, the one I have, 365 Cashew, and I also have, so my normal skin color before I got this tan, I had to mix these. Now that I'm darker, I only use Cashew, and I'm sure during the winter I'll have to use Cashmere. So there's no, like, the shade range is kind of weird. Like I couldn't find a perfect match for me, but I feel like I can never find a perfect match for me, so I'm kind of used to mixing. But anyways, this is definitely the most hydrating full coverage concealer that I've tried. It's not the fullest of the full coverage, if I'm being honest, but that's not what I go for anyways. So I've definitely tried like Tarte Shape Tape. It's definitely not that type of full coverage. So that's that there. I like the formula of this. The formula of this, it's, like I said, I'm really dry, especially under my eyes here. I can't use a lot of powder. A little more now that it's summertime, but overall all year long I use minimal powder. So I have to have a concealer that is like hydrating in a way, but not too hydrating that 2 hours later it's wiping off my face. So I haven't, before I tried that concealer, I had not been able to find one at the drugstore that that had the amount of coverage, that didn't look crepey and dry under my skin, and that okay, I lost my train of thought, but that's because I heard that little kid cuss. I was like, boy, where's your mama? Anyways, it's hard for me to find a powder that does not make me look extra dry and cakey. Like, it's almost impossible, especially if I'm in like dead winter months whenever I'm just scaly and I have to mask every day and exfoliate a lot. Then it's really hard for powder to work on my skin, which sucks because it really helps blending your makeup and keeping the longevity of your makeup on better. So the only one that I have been using for, I would say, over a good year and a half is the Maybelline Fit Me loose setting powder. I have mine in the in the shade 10 Fair Light. This is pretty light for me right now. There you go. There's a better look at the shade. It is a little light for me right now, but it kind of almost blends into a translucent setting powder. It doesn't have that much coverage, I guess, so I can get away with using it right now. So that's it there. It's just a really like, whenever I'm touching, it's so soft. It's really finely milled. If anything, sometimes it makes my dry patches look better, which I know is freaking crazy to say. But I know if I have like a bad foundation on, or like say that I was being lazy and I didn't put a primer on, then sometimes foundations just won't look good on my skin. And it's just the reality of having dry skin. If you have dry skin, you know that. But I can put some of the powder on. I always use a sponge to apply powder. On a sponge, tap it over whatever area. It adds more coverage. It kind of smooths the area out without making me look dry. And that's the only loose powder that I buy. That's the only loose powder that I use in general, even over high-end ones. So must have bronzer from the drugstore. It is not the cheapest bronzer that you can get at the drugstore, but it is the best, because now that they finally expanded their shade ranges, before they only had that one shade. I don't know, it's this one right here, but I took it out of the pan, so it's this big circle one, and it's literally the easiest bronzer to blend of all time, and there's no getting it wrong. You can't mess this bronzer up. You would literally have to, I don't know, suck, or like, I don't know, but it smells. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This specific one that I have is in deep bronzer, and like I said, this one is the, I think it's just called bronzer. It's just their original shade. This is the only one that they had for years. It's what I've been using, and then they finally expanded it so everyone can enjoy it, which is great. But I actually use the deep bronzer shade now, and you can even tell like I'm not even that deep right now. And it's almost like the color of my neck, so I don't know, they need to get that together. But definitely if there's like a sale, because Ulta always has sales, like, you know, buy one get one free, or you buy one get one 50% off, I definitely would recommend getting this bronzer and trying it. Their blushes, their butter blushes and their butter highlights are also really good, but if anything stands out the most from their butter collection or their butter line, it's definitely this bronzer. I think that if they really expanded the shade range even further, it would benefit so many people, because not everybody gets to experience it, and it's sad. It's like, it's the softest. It's kind of like the Fit Me powder, but see, it's like, it's almost so, you can't even see it. Yeah, it's like so weird that whenever you get a brush and you swirl it in here, that's when you pick up the pigment, because swatching it, you won't see anything. I mean, it's barely there. But it's so easy to work with. It's so easy to build up, and I really love this bronzer. I've used it for a really long time. I'm glad that they expanded the shade range somewhat, but they still got some work to do. So I was really debating on what blush to use, just because I do have a favorite, but when I sat down and I thought about it, I was like, well, is it really worth it? I mean, can I get that effect from something that's cheaper, something that's, you know, easily accessible, even though the other one's from the drugstore too? So the other one that I was debating about was the Burt's Bees, which is like $14. It can be $16 in some places, and this one's in Toasted Cinnamon, and it is one of my favorite blushes, but I decided not to go with it just because it's not a complete must-have. Like, I think you can get it elsewhere, and in my opinion, I think that this Wet n Wild Keep It Peachy, you get almost the same effect. It's actually a little bit more pigmented. So this one's just a little more bronzy. This one's a little more peachy, of course, but on the skin, they basically do the same thing. This one's $2, $3. This one's $14, $16. So I don't think you have to have this. I do think that if you haven't tried these, or if you're looking for a new blush, that the Color Icon blushes are great. I mean, it's cruelty free. I know a lot of people are transitioning from their makeup to all cruelty free, so that's great. I'm not sure about what Burt's Bees is, but I don't know. And not only that, but you do get, let's see here. Oh, never mind. I was gonna tell you the gram difference, but I just peeled off the sticker. So e.l.f. highlighter. I'm not sure what the actual, like, the line of this highlighter is, but the shade is white gold, and it has like this little pattern here. And I actually saw this on Ulta's website that said that it was new, but I've seen it at Walmart forever, so I don't know if it's new at Ulta or if it's a different one, but it said it was in white gold. And it's definitely more expensive there, so I definitely would get this at Walmart or directly from e.l.f.'s website, because they're definitely the most affordable. But it's just a beautiful highlight. I mean, it's blinding. I personally don't like natural highlights, so I can't say. I mean, I guess you could get some sheerness out of this if you just barely put it on, with a really big fluffy brush. Even something fluffier than this one here. Maybe something a bit more round, or even a fan brush that will kind of spread the product out a bit more. But it's a great highlight. I mean, you get a lot in here. This is just a new one for me, so of course it still looks brand new and pretty, but it's not chalky. It looks beautiful on the skin. I mean, it's basically everything that you could find in actually the Soap palette in this shade right here. It's basically identical to that. So sometimes this could be like a little too white for me, because this is more of like a white gold champagne instead of something that's a little more bronze. So I'll put like something bronzy all over as my all over highlight, and then just hit the high points with this, and that really just draws light into those portions of the face that you apply it, and it's just beautiful. And I think anything at e.l.f. is what, $3, $5. It's a great size pan. You're not gonna go wrong. I mean, even if you don't like it, it was $3. Come on, what you complaining for? You ungrateful. All right, guys, so that is my final thoughts and my recommendations, and what I think are must-haves from the drugstore that, compared to high-end products, or just perform well overall, that I just think that works for everyone. And I mean, if the price is right, duh. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these videos. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram so you can vote on what I should film next. I'm always asking you guys for video ideas, or if you would rather this or this. So don't forget to check me out there. Also, just let me know what your must-haves from the drugstore are. I mean, I'm always looking to try new makeup, so I would love to hear what you guys have tried, or if you've had these products, what you think about them. Just let me know, and hope to see you in my next one. Bye.